Hey everybody, welcome back to STARDEUS. Hope you're having a sweet day. Wanted to show you this. It's been a week since I've loaded this game, and like there's 52 new changes since I loaded it up, and you can just go through this changelog every time. All the green stuff is new as of this recent patch, and then all of the purplish stuff is new as of the patch before that, which I haven't seen yet. So yeah, like there's just a lot of stuff here. It's really crazy. So I encourage you guys to check out this stuff. This guy updates this game a lot. Okay, let's get into this. So I'm on the way now to Prato. Prato has uranium, which I'm very interested in, but it also has an anomaly. I'll have to see what that is. While we're on our way there, I want to talk about some of the changes that have, one of the changes that have been made. They've reorganized the tech tree. I'll say reorganized the tech tree. Stuff's in different orders, and actually, from what I can tell, it seems to be just exactly backwards. I don't know if that was the intention, but it just seems like it's maybe not exactly backwards. There's also this tier here that's a question mark. That's always been there, but like now propulsion, for example, is all the way on the right instead of on the left. So just wanted to point that out. There's also a new item that's been added, and I'm so happy they added this because it just makes too much sense. They have this, the autopilot. It's an upgrade module that you can add, and this will allow you to manipulate the bridge controls directly without requiring a human pilot. So we absolutely need this so that I can fly where I want to go and not require somebody to be sitting here, okay? Because that was always a drag. Okay, so we've tested our weapon systems. We know that they're rock solid. Anyone who wants to come and get us, well, yeah, come get some, okay? Now we need to guard ourselves against other types of threats that we can't really mitigate with the guns, namely micrometeoroids and the asteroids. Because the asteroids, if it shows up on the map with us, if we don't get a good enough warning or whatever, there's nothing I can do. It's going to obliterate a giant hole in my ship, right? So we need to do something about that now. To do that, we're going to go into security, and we're going to take a look at the quantum barrier. It generates a powerful force field capable of protecting the ship against meteoroids, as well as asteroids of any size. It requires a long, expensive charge in between uses. You might have been wondering why I've chosen to place certain things the way they are. And I've been leaving big gaps, all right? Left a gap there, left a gap there. There's a big old empty space here, etc. Well, that's because I want this thing to be installed. So the first place I'm going to install this is right in the bridge. I'm going to put this thing right up next to the ship controls right here. And that's going to be our first big shield. It's a force field that will protect the bridge, okay, as well as all these main guns and the teleporters, etc. So we want to guard that. But we're also going to place, around the ship even further, and I'm going to have barriers kind of cross over because once the shield is used, it has a long, expensive recharge, like it said. So having the exterior of the ship guarded by multiple types of force fields seems like a good idea. We're going to place one over in this side. I'll probably place it in the corner, but I don't want to get in the way of that door, so we'll put it a little bit off the door and say maybe there. There's also going to be another one built right over here to guard the stasis pods as well as all those particle collectors and the shuttle area. We're going to place one over here, which is going to guard against this, and then I want to also guard the back, because right now, anything that comes from the back side, we do have guns, but they're not very good. So we're going to place a force field here. That's going to guard all of this stuff, except for those two guns on the outside, but no big deal. It's getting all the stuff on the inside that's important. I'm going to place one here to guard the majority of the solar panels. And then as we move up, we'll probably place one over here. This area is going to be a little bit exposed unless I put it in the hallway. You know what? Tell you what, let's move this out of there. I don't even think we need this thing anymore because we're doing things. Yeah, we're messing with things in a whole different way now, so we don't need that thing anymore. Engines are firing, looking pretty good. Now, this also might be raising a question mark for you. Like, wait a minute, these things weren't here before. What happened? Okay, this is my memory module expansion. We're going to have two big rows of it here. I'm also putting rows of CPU stuff here so I can have more bots. And then you'll see I've got memory starting to get implemented all over the place, okay? there are no upgrade modules for the memory. My opinion, that needs to be the next thing, all right? We need upgrade modules for the memory now so that I don't have to spam them all over the ship. But it is what it is. You also notice that at this point anyway, the majority of my colonists that are walking around have guns. So they'll be able to defend in the case we do get breached, which should be really unlikely now that we have that, you know, now that we have the ability to like control where things go. Getting breached is probably not going to happen. I need to change the outside here because I want to have a force field here too. And then I'm also going to put one in this room. And actually, let's just go ahead and do that right now. We'll take this and we're going to go ahead and build a copy. Now notice this construction of these quantum barriers, it does take uranium to build this. So you don't want to go too crazy on it. But I'm going to, just for the sake of having good protections everywhere. So we're going to have one there. And that should be a good overlap. I can put one in this room, which would be a good overlap for all the plants and stuff over there. We could put one in this room here. This would also guard this area. And so we've got a lot of these barriers, right? Now, we also want to put one near the ship computer. And I'll place one, I think, right here just to guard against that. Guard against anything hitting there. And then I can put one in this area right there. Yep. And then one over here, which should help in guarding the... well, I kind of wanted it to be here, to be honest. I might end up moving these. Yeah, I might move these to be like, I don't know, over here instead somewhere. I don't know, we'll see. I might kick it over there. But I want to have a quantum thing here too. So that if asteroids do come and we get really short notice for some reason, we just can't move. It's going to hit the barrier instead. That's the goal. We want it to hit the barrier and not us, okay? So that's what all these are for. And we'll start with these for now. We'll build more as we can afford it. These things are really quite expensive. You can see the list of materials that it takes, as well as construction and science skill. It takes a lot of materials to make these things. 20 battery cells each. We're definitely going to run out. You can see we already don't have enough microchips or titanium plates. You know, there's a lot of that going around. So we're going to want to keep ramping up production on that stuff. But we're here at this planet because this planet has uranium. And the anomaly, it is on the surface, can be dangerous. I am going to send an expedition down. We're only going to do one expedition for now. And we're going to send a full crew of robots instead of people. So we're going to start with Bordeaux. He's going to go. And let's send Stack. Yeah, Stack. So we'll send this stuff down just in case that anomaly that's down there results in like loss of life and stuff. At least it is machinery that's lost and not colonists. It also appears to me that they are not fixing this because they can't reach it. Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, I feel like maybe we don't need this. Is it possible to, you know, if I remove, maybe just shift. No, in order to reach back here, I'd have to get rid of one of these. Let's see if we can afford to do that. Well, let's not, we don't need to deconstruct it, do we? No, we just move it. Move it over here for now. And by doing that, we should be able to get back here to fix it now. Because they can, yeah, there we go. So, I mean, I guess if I ever have to fix that wall behind there, I'll just shift these and move them. That's not where this thing needs to go. Go there. There it goes. I'll just move them like that really quick if I ever have to. It's a kind of a thing that doesn't necessarily take that long. I've also doubled our refinery capability for crude oil. So we're going to be able to do that twice as fast now. And at the bottom here, I've got both of my processors that can go in. And they have a very different look depending on which direction they're facing, which is kind of cool. Like, it's obvious this thing only wraps around one direction, but I like how the models are modeled from every angle. Very cool that way. And they're different on each angle. It's pretty cool. Okay, Firefly has an expedition trying to communicate with me. That's right. And it found an artifact. Asimov Override. You can attempt to recover it, but there is a 0% chance of failure. Thanks. I like 0% chance of failure. That sounds like a great odds for me. Let's do that. Good. Okay, so that's what I'm up against now. I'm upgrading RAM. I'm upgrading CPU so I can have more bots. I've got a bunch of sentries now. If we take a look at our beings, we have 56 beings on board. That's how many carrier bots we've got. We've got 5 cleaning bots, which I probably could have more, but things are pretty good. You know, they're not that bad. We got a bunch of construction bots, and then a whole bunch of these bigger robots are there now too, which is good. And then now 5 sentries. So I think we're pretty protected. That's where I want to get to here. I wanted to just, in summary, I think we're pretty safe now. We weren't before, but I think we're pretty safe now. So my goal from this point on in the game is, in addition to getting this autopilot here, my goal is to get FTL propulsion and cryogenics. Those are the 2 things that I want to get now. After those things are done, I'll probably go in to black holes so that we can maybe go and check that out. I don't know if we can or not, but we'll see. And then that'll zip us to another galaxy, which could be kind of interesting. It's just to try out anyway. We're then going to work our way into getting advanced solar and nuclear energy storage, which, I repeat, things have been mirrored now because these things are, it's clearly everything's been mirrored. I like it. But now nuclear energy is over here. So I want to get these 2 things as well, just so I can replace my solar panels with better ones. And then nuclear energy storage isn't really all that critical. So I'll probably go after advanced solar first because the number of batteries I have is fine. I don't really have all that much of an interest in cloning. We can grow our own colonies using a highly advanced laboratory equipment. I mean, I'll probably do this just to show it, but I don't really have a whole interest in cloning. It doesn't work with the story for me. But mind control seems interesting because if I can finally tell my biological beings to do things, I can finally get them to do what I want them to do, right? I can influence biological beings by changing their work priorities and giving them direct orders. That sounds nice. So I'll probably go into that too. I probably won't use it very much, but in a situation where it's really necessary, I would like to be able to assume direct control. So we will attempt to do that. There's also this lighting node here. I find there's really little use for this because we already have lighting unlocked, and perhaps it's just because I started, I don't know, like these lit floor tiles, I don't need to unlock them. They're already there. I can already do things like this. Maybe it's just different designs. And then this lighting block, I don't find a use for that either. So we won't be looking at that. And that's kind of it for the tech tree. We don't need shuttle upgrades because those are super easy to get just by trade. So it's kind of a whatever thing. So yeah, we're mining uranium. It's great. And when we get to, and this is a lot of, like I said, a lot of RAM. Whoops, I want to go here. A lot of RAM. But when we eventually get to cryogenics, we have over 100. We have 186 units of RAM now, by the way. So I've greatly increased the RAM now. But I still need to worry about disk space. When we get this and get it done, we can then build our own cryostasis area, which, again, the ship is too small. It needs to be expanded anyway. I'll probably do it off here. Or maybe I'll extend this wing down. I think that was probably a natural thing to extend this wing down anyway. And then we'll also be extending this up a little bit just to kind of get that covered for the shields. I might go ahead and expand. This side is going that direction, so I might do that off this side too, and then connect these. That means there's a big old outdoor sort of exposed hole in the ship, but I don't think that's a huge deal. What that will also lead to me doing, though, is moving these guns because they won't be necessary anymore. And for all I know, with these installed like they are, it's possible that side-facing guns aren't necessary anymore anyway. It's possible that I could just, you know, do the thing. But the reason for having them still is if the pod's coming in from this side and I'm starting to pull it towards the target, that pulls it over top the ship. They might just breach before they get pulled all the way here. So I have guns in the back just in case, and that's why the side guns exist. Because if they're coming this way and I'm trying to pull them over, I don't know if it's going to pull them around the ship. It might just lure them towards this. So anyway, that's my update so far of what I'm up to. We're going to go to, we got this planet done, and then we're going to go all the way over to Chinese Wilson, where there's more uranium there. I've been sending probes out to other planets. I'm not entirely sure we're gonna find any that have. Yeah, those ones just have. I mean, there's lots of resources, but I don't think they have any uranium for me. It's kind of the only thing I care about right now. I could venture out in getting more lithium because I have traded that away a little bit, and getting, you know, batteries and stuff does require lithium. So I might look at that. There are also a couple more planets here that I haven't launched probes yet, so I can go ahead and do that. And then we'll know where to go. I've launched one there already, so we'll go to this one, launch probe. And yeah, so I'll learn everything I can about the system we're in, work on the tech tree stuff, and then when we're ready to head out, you know, because there's no risk now. I don't think there is anyway. Once we get these operational, there's really no risk to the ship anymore. So I want to kind of move us along in the series, if you will, to getting to the terraforming part and to finding that world that's habitable. So I'm going to kind of accelerate a little bit here, right? There's a lot of skipping here, but I think it's worth it for content wise to just get to the point instead of having constant resources and the same thing over and over again, right? So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm just checking in here real quick because I don't want to like leave you guys super hanging here. So I've completed the construction on the autopilot upgrade. It took actually quite a long time to make that thing, but it does, you know, compared to some of the other ones like the disk compression upgrades and stuff. But it is there, it's installed right now, and so I wanted to go ahead and check it out and test it out because the autopilot upgrade is now installed in the bridge. Now I also have, in the ship computer, I've installed the auto connect upgrade. It's not something I really think it's necessary, but it's supposed to be very convenient in that as soon as something is in range, it just simply connects to something, right? And so you don't have to necessarily worry about, you know, manual connections and stuff like that. Also, I don't actually know. I said it initially in the comment when I replied to it that it was something that didn't exist before, but you know, thinking back, I really don't know if I ever truly tried it. But you can connect teleporters by simply dragging, and it'll be a pink line and it will kind of tell you that it's going to link. So if I selected a teleporter like this, you'll see it says link. So you can connect teleporters that way as well, instead of having to go through the menu and going to link and everything. So something to keep in mind if you're playing the game. That's a possibility. I didn't know that. I don't know. Maybe I didn't try that before, but I felt like I did. In any case, we also have the Asimov override, and I'm really not sure why I would want this. Alien rogue AI tech that overrides Asimov's governor module, allowing you to ignore the 3 laws of robotics. Essentially, this will allow me to harm humans and things like that. I'm not entirely sure. I guess I don't remember. Maybe look back in videos and you guys tell me. Have you ever seen one of my robots attack one of the human invaders that came in the previous episodes? Were my bots allowed to attack the human invaders? Or was I only hitting the mechanical ones? Because you would think if human invaders came onto my ship, I wouldn't have been allowed to attack them with my bots. Asimov's first would have stopped me, correct? So I've been thinking about that, and maybe my sleep depravity is affecting, you know, how I think about that. But I think that maybe could have been a thing. And so with Asimov's override, I would then be able to attack the human invaders. Is that fair? I don't know. In any case, I'm gonna install it and we'll see what happens. But I don't anticipate anything really coming from it. Oh, before I do this though, I wanted to check this because this upgrade slot does allow me to place a disk compression upgrade in. And I don't know if this is like a universal thing that affects all of them or if it just doesn't do anything. So I kind of wanted to see that too. So first we'll put the disk compression module in. And actually we don't have enough of them to put in here. So that doesn't, let me try it really quick. We'll just take one of them out of here. And this will now be allowed to come into here. And I want to see what the available hard drive space is beforehand. So we have a 1508 is our available storage space currently. And if that disk compression module gets installed in here, what does that give me? 1524. Okay, so it gave me 16 And I'm not entirely sure why it gave me 16. Why that number? Perhaps there is just simply a baseline storage in this module. It doesn't seem worth it to me, nevertheless. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of uninstall that. But it was just something I wanted to check out. So I'll put in the Asimov override. It's probably better to sell it, to be honest, because rogue AI. Now it's now I can be evil, I guess. It might be more beneficial to sell it if I'm being straight up, because it's worth 185 grand, and that's pretty good, you know. So anyway, you might have noticed also as I'm scrolling around, we've got some additional construction that's happening. This area is now square. It's been kind of upgraded a little bit, so it's a little more squarish. This is going to be squarish as well. It's already been squared out, if you will. So there's a little more space over here to start managing things, maybe some storage. I've moved the lights and everything. And then we've got this sort of frame floor that's being built. And I'm kind of role-playing this. I'm not going to lie. I've been role-playing sort of little things like, hey, if you were constructing things out here, you would need scaffolding, right? That kind of thing. So I'm using this stuff to sort of mark out where everything's going to be. And yeah, I'm aware there's a planning tool. I know. I just don't care to use it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but the tools that I have in front of me, they seem to work okay as is. Wait, I don't want to do that. So that is supposed to, no, this one lines up. Yeah. So I've kind of done it to where it would be flush with this angle. So we'll end up having things be mostly symmetrical. So all of this ends up being usable space that we can have. What I might do is take these particle collectors and move them to the exterior of the ship all along the sides, and then that can be where we have it. So instead of having this little area anymore, which I thought was kind of cool initially, I can now place it along the sides of this, and there's a floor right here that sort of they could just go pick it up and move it around, right? And then, you know, teleporters to get it to be more conveniently located. So there's a lot of stuff I'm looking at doing. And I just wanted to kind of show you what I'm up to in terms of like the construction on this thing. And yeah, this is also allows, oh, so here we go. Incoming meteor shower. This is a state of emergency. So obviously in this thing, we would want to go, right? We want to get out of here as fast as possible. And luckily for us, we now have the autopilot. So now we get to test it, all right? So is this it's a trader. So there's no planets there. So we're just going to head to, I don't really want to go to Barbajua. We have to go all the way over to Chinese Wilson too, but I'm just going to head, whoa, hang on. Okay, camera, behave. There we go. Okay. I'm going to head to here real quick and just tell the ship to go. And we should see that it goes pretty much immediately. Yeah, there it goes. So we're going to get out of here. It does still go backwards, but I get it. It's fine. What I think would be cooler, by the way, on this, and this is something I think you could do, but it might take some effort, I don't know, from a coding perspective, to keep my immersion, right? So that we don't end up going backwards when we head that direction. Just rotate the map. Have the background rotate behind the ship, right? And that sort of would give me the impression that I'm turning, right? So I think if you just, I mean, maybe it'll give some motion sickness stuff. I don't know. Put it as a toggle in the menu, maybe. But if you just had the background rotate, then it would kind of give me the feeling like I'm turning in space, and then it wouldn't throw my immersion off so much. Like, is that we're burning this way, but we're still going to the left, right? So then we can just move the background. The planet would go behind me, and everything would look really cool that way. I think that's one compromise that could work for the sake of having to go backwards, quote unquote. I think it would work. I also have the next nuclear reactor up, and so by doing that, we're able to burn like this and still keep our power like way up, right? So we have more power than I'll probably ever need at this point because of these, but I do hope to use less uranium once we upgrade the solar panels. And then that would, this little space here, when I upgrade the solar panels, what I might end up doing is just putting them out like this, and then having my defenses and stuff moved out there to meet them, so that this space and this space could also be usable later. It's maybe take a little bit of the character away from our fish, right? We're still called Nemo after all, so I do kind of want to still sort of keep the fish-inspired, accidentally fish-inspired, design theme that we've got going on. But maybe, you know, it's fine. I'm gonna end up turning over my save file for you guys too when this is all over with, and you guys can, you know, dink around with it if you want to too. So if you want to see all the options in the game and you want to dink around with different things and go to different planets and whatever, you know, you could just play the game yourself to do that. But if maybe you're interested in like tinkering with the terraforming stuff right away, well, I mean, you could use my save to do it, I guess. But I do tend to share my saves pretty much every playthrough that I do with a game that I can do that with. I tend to do that with. Looks to me like our auto kitchen can't make survival meals anymore, which is fine. We'll have you make soy burgers instead. And I'll bump this up to 80 because we got tons of plant fibers. So we'll do that too. Yeah, so that's my update. There it is. We've got this. I'm going to keep going, keep scavenging materials, and I'll keep working on research, right? Which I'm trying to right now to get the hard drive space capable for getting FTL, and then I can get those bigger drives installed. They're pretty damn big, but I want to get those installed too. I've also added this little wall beside this so that these cannons aren't like right next to the damn thing here, right? And you know, these cannons don't have to be right next to the fusion drive, I guess it's called, yeah. When I forget what it's called, I'll just usually just call things the damn thing. Just my personality or something. I get it from my dad. Anyway, the bigger engines are going to go in the middle, of course, and then those will push us really fast to other, like to new galaxies and stuff. That's the idea anyway. All right, so I'll keep mining, keep scavenging resources. I'll be right back. Look at all these new streams that are going through. Oh man, so I've you know had some dinner or whatever and decided I was just gonna wait a day to keep going, and then like the updates, right? Like this is cool. Like now these little effects are really, I feel like they're more prominent than they were before. These little particle effects, I like them. They're cool. So I've expanded the fish. Okay, he's becoming a bit more, I don't know, it's a bit more whale-like, I suppose. But we're expanding this wall all the way out here, right? The bots are on their way to go out and do that. We're just trying to get enough steel, and obviously I'm, you know, still working on that incrementally as the processing and stuff happens. I'm not in a hurry to do this. I don't need to have a ton more processing. It's not a big deal to me. If you want to make this massive ship that can just process everything you get in a day, then, you know, go for it. So I'm still looking to get these things though, the copper wire, the optical fibers and stuff. Those more advanced resources, I can understand wanting to increase production on those types of things. And so like I'm thinking about actually taking the crafting stations that's right here and bringing them into sort of like maybe over in this wing here, or I can place them in this area and have a crafting station be in this area, or that could be the new purpose for this one. I haven't decided where it's going yet, basically. But if I can get maybe some expansions to this, well, then I might be able to get the refinery, and I can add 2 more refineries in this room, and then I can process double the oil, which would give me, of course, more money with the petroleum, and then I can continue to just purchase some of the things that I need as I need them. The telescope has detected a potentially habitable planet, Pocahontas, in the Liberia system, Sefton Galaxy. So there are more possible habitable worlds, right? The telescope is going to keep finding new ones. That's interesting. Now, is there a list of potential habitable worlds? Is there a list of them? Do I have to go maybe quests? I'm wondering if there is a list of things that it has said, or do I have to just remember these things, which I can do because I'm making a video series, so I can always look back at that. But like, certainly if we're finding all these different things, these are suggestions. You know, I'll probably look at it and figure it out. Available tasks, pending tasks, show. Oh, these are just this is just a task list for all my bots and stuff. And the people. We have a task list for everybody here. Wow, 4,000 active orders. Good for you. Yeah, so I don't know if there's actually a write-up here. Maybe it's in the event log. Found terraformable planet. I might have to like go into the log extensively. I could maybe add a log entry, but then I have to still keep going back into finding it. So I'm wondering if there's just a way to see the names and systems of the habitable worlds, but it's okay. I'll figure it out. If you know a way to do it, then, you know, feel free to put it in the comments. I'll know then. But I'm actually just recording these as I upload them now, so I'm not ahead of you guys anymore. I'll upload one, I'll see the comments, I'll make the other, etc. We're on real time now, so don't worry about you know, you don't have to worry about there being such a time delay between my responses, I guess now. So I'm looking at the final bits here that I need before I continue to expand the wall sections here, and I'm kind of trying to figure out exactly how far I want to go with this. And building copies, like maybe right here, kind of close that up, you know. And obviously these floors will all get replaced. I don't need them to stay here, but for now I'm just using it because I thought it was more lore friendly to have like scaffolding for the flooring. So we'll say copy. There we go, and put that stuff in there. So when all this flooring is done, we actually have this exterior. It almost looks like a wing, if you will, like a swept wing, right? And I'm kind of thinking maybe we go on this idea of a swept wing, sort of like we can imagine that this ship, not just as a spaceship, but it also has atmospheric flight capabilities. We could role play that. It doesn't kind of fit the purpose, or it doesn't fit the, you know, the theme of what we've done before, where we've been sending shuttles down. But we could say that sending down shuttles to these worlds to mine on them is just simply more energy efficient because the shuttle can maneuver and, you know, uses a lot less fuel to do it, to where atmospheric entry with a ship so large would be very difficult to get it back out of atmosphere. And so we have it available to land for precision landing purposes, but we maybe don't have, kind of like the space shuttle. I want to think of it like the space shuttle, right? Where it's like, okay, yeah, sure, you're up there and you're in space and you have wings, which are pointless, but on re-entry, significantly easier for precision landing when you have those wings. But you're not getting back out of the atmosphere once you land, right? That thing just isn't going to happen. So I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking overthinking it. I don't know. But you know what I might do is also make the crafting unit. The crafting room could be here for all the humans to craft. And then I can get a whole bunch more of these things, because these things are actually pretty cool, these assemblers. So I'm thinking about getting a couple more of these too, like a whole bunch more of these really. And if I put them like in a row and have like 10 of these things, I would probably be able to make tons of copper wire and tons of plates and all that stuff too. So that's pretty interesting. I'm also building a couple more fabricators out here in the open, and I may opt to just, you know, fill the room with fabricators and stuff too. Those are pretty useful. Take a look at the incoming breach capsule, though. We've got 3 of them incoming. Oh boy, hang on. 3 of them incoming, it says. There's only 1 pictured here. Oh, there's another one, and there's another one. Okay, so we have 3 breach capsules. They're all heading this way, trying to breach us. Oh, you silly billies. But I'm ready for you now, aren't I? Yes, I am. So select the projectile, the first breach capsule at 393. That's what you will do. We'll have this one take the one at 475. And this one will take the one at 476. And whichever one needs a little bit more help, that's what we'll put the other one on. Oh, here it goes. We're going to take it and just bring them right in. Bring them in. There you go. Bring them in here. We're latched on. This one here probably needs more help. So let's get that one right here. It's probably, yep, this one here. We'll get that one being pulled by 2 different tractor beams just to get it closer to the others. 3 breach capsules. This is the first time we've actually tried to pull in 3 breach capsules. The last time it was just a single breach capsule, I feel like. But this time, no, sorry. Take that back. The last time I was thinking it was on the platform here. That was a stasis pod. The breach capsules got obliterated last time we did this. There was 3 of them then too. So we're gonna pull this thing in. It's kind of getting in there. Our cannons are starting to fire, right? Because we do have sideways facing cannons, and we are getting destruction. We've already tested our weapons like this once, and it's gone. It is no longer existing. Perfect. And we blow this one up, no problems. And the final one looks upon its friends and says, oh shit, I've made a grave error. And it is deleted. We have deleted the breach pods. The breach capsules are no more. The tractor beams are great. We still do want the shields. You might be thinking, why do we need the shields? And that's pretty much because of the asteroids, really. I think the asteroids and the micrometeorites and stuff, we can't exactly do anything about those. So we will be protecting the sides of the ship from that. Although there's going to be a little bit of a problem right here. A little bit of a weak point right here. So I might expand the ship a little bit on this side, or maybe delete one of these bedrooms. Honestly, deleting the bedroom is probably the best way to do this. If I delete one of these bedrooms, like maybe just delete this one, then I can place this next to it. I think I will do that instead. Because we don't need this many bedrooms, of course. We have all those sleeping pods and stuff now, so... ooh, don't do that. We need that. Go cancel deconstruct. There we go. And then we're just going to delete the bed, or maybe we can relocate the bed. I think I'd actually instead of deconstructing this, I think I'd rather relocate this because this is like a fully grown plant, you know. Oh, I don't think you can actually can I move this when it's full? Yeah. Can I get this into like put it in there instead or something, you know? And then this bed, we can relocate that, and it can just be, I don't know, just hang out on the side of the room or something over here. Place to just chill, you know? Okay, and then we can take our shield generator here, our quantum barrier, I believe it's called, and we will build a copy of that and place that in this room right over here next to this. And that will definitely cover the gap for any length of time. Any threats we have around, that will definitely cover the gap. Okay, so this is done. A little swept wing area here. I like it. We can get more manufacturing and stuff going around in here. I'm going to move these to the exterior over on this side so we can all gather all those over there. We'll probably have another one all on the side of this ship here, and we'll do that. I'm definitely leaving this outdoors, but if I go into research, I think I want to have... Should have enough... Yeah, I have enough storage now. So I'm going to go get advanced solar. And the advanced solar takes 15 megawatts of power. So that's kind of a crazy amount of power for research. And yet, despite that, we are generating enough. All right. Oh, we're only going to give it 1 megawatt. Yeah, it looks like we're only going to give it 1 megawatt, which is no big deal. So it'll take 14 days, but we're going to start that on there now, and then we can replace all of these and replace all of these with the more advanced ones, and then potentially have another solar array up front here and here. Just have like, 4 of them. And then by the time this is over with, I'm pretty sure our fish is no longer going to look like a fish. It'll probably look like a proper spaceship at this point, I think, once we're all done with this. But I'm going to keep running with it. We're getting close to the end of the series. If you can't feel it, then, I don't know. You're just not seeing it, I guess. I am making lots of these disk compression modules, and the fabricator for now, I'm going to have this one making plastic, and I'll probably have this one making rubber just to do so. But we do have these two that are dedicated to the disk compression upgrades, so that I can have more storage capacity for research. But I can choose, if I want to, I can also just go in and build copies of these and place them in a random room. Maybe we'll have a bunch of them in this row here. That could be fine. It would look okay, right? And then I could just maybe leave a gap right here and have more of these be like this. Cancel. We could actually just do this 2 by 2, just so people can move around between them. That's fine with me too. So we'll do this. 2, 2, and like this. So 2, 2, 2, and 2, and 2. And then I guess at that point, if we're going to keep doing that, then we do 2, 2. So we could just expand that too, right? And then, of course, there's all of our RAM upgrades that have been taking place as well. There's all this huge row of RAM in this room. There's only 2 left to build here. And then there's CPU modules for having more bots. And then also all the RAM modules I built over here to finish that off too. And that's just basically just waiting for plastic at this point. So the new fabricators will make plastics. And obviously I can build copies of these things. We'll do 2 by 2 here if I want to. But I'm probably going to be honest, I'm probably going to move all of this stuff and move it over into this area so it's closer to where the humans are anyway. Maybe probably in this room. And then and we'll probably fill this room with fabricators, or we'll make a new room for fabrication or something, maybe over in this area, and then put the teleporters and stuff. It doesn't matter to me. The point is, as long as it's built, as long as it's running, it's fine. It doesn't have any location need because the teleporters exist. You don't have to put things right next to each other when you have teleportation. It's kind of like Anno in a little bit. It reminds me of Anno, where you can just have an entire production chain right in the corner of the island, way away from everybody else. And as long as you've got this dinky ass little dirt road connecting the rest of it and a storage unit, as long as you've got a place to store that stuff in that production chain, it just goes to the global, right? This is kind of the same thing. Okay, maybe it's not the same thing because there's teleporters, but you get the point. Like, you don't have to be really close together for efficiency. It's not like Captain of Industry or Satisfactory or whatever. All right. I'm just jammering on because it's 1 a.m. and I'm tired. I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.